Look at these instructions.
What is up, my Lumpias? It's Vanessa and welcome back to the channel. So, as you can see, I have like some crazy hair. Rochelle is currently sleeping on the couch, so I'm talking a little bit quieter. But for today's video, if you haven't seen part 1, it's about me doing the glucose testing and finding out I have gestational diabetes. So this video is maintaining the gestational diabetes and showing what you go through. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And with that, Rochelle's crying, so let's get into the video.
Hey, I'm in my gestational diabetes Zoom virtual class, just waiting for it to start. It said to log in 10 minutes before, 15 minutes before. I've been logged in since 8:45. It's 8:50, so I have some paper and a pen, have the book open, have the Zoom open. And as an update, I'm still bruised from the glucose test on Friday. Like, that nurse was not good, like, at all. This side isn't as bad because she did in the middle, but like, yeah.
If you're hungry, you can have a snack in the middle of the morning with 15 to 30 grams of carbohydrates. Wait a couple of hours to have your snack.
Sorry if you hear that. Our neighbors are getting like their front porch redone, like the concrete and stuff. So I took some notes from the gestational diabetes course. It was actually really informative. Just one thing I guess I can say I learned is that proteins and fat doesn't affect your blood sugar levels. It's the carbohydrates that do. But carbohydrates are very important. You shouldn't skip on them. So like all your starch, even like flavored yogurt, fruit, that kind of stuff, like don't skip on it and just have protein and fat, because carbohydrates ends up like being your energy and stuff. So you have to have carbohydrates in your diet. So that was just something really interesting to note. I'm a little like upset, like I'm a little vulnerable right now. Like I feel vulnerable, like I'm like getting upset about it. Is, you know, they said, okay, you should start, they're gonna send like a prescription to our pharmacy to get like the blood sugar thing. So you have to check it 4 times a day. I'm like, oh my God, like what a nightmare. And you have to poke your fingers. And you guys know how I am with like needles. So like I've been pretty good. Like in the beginning I would like be gagging and stuff. Then I got used to it, and now that I have to like monitor this and do that, it's kind of like hard on me. It's just the whole thing of monitoring it in front of other people. It makes me very uncomfortable. I'm thinking about work, for example. I monitor my blood sugar and check it. Like I'm like, where do I go to do it? You know, like I'm just like, I don't want people to see. Hello everyone. So I went to the grocery store to get a couple things because it's Thanksgiving tomorrow, so which is like on the healthier side, which will help with my numbers. So I have egg whites because I can't have egg yolk. It makes my throat itchy. I'm a 2 on eggs, but I can have egg whites, so there's that. I got Greek yogurt plain because flavored Greek yogurt I can't have. But the carbohydrates, they're still kind of high. It's, well, I guess like compared to like regular yogurt, it's lower. And then I got sugar-free pancake syrup because I want to do maple glazed carrots for Thanksgiving, but I don't know if it'll taste the same, but whatever. I'm gonna try it. Hopefully it kind of works. So it is taking a toll on me, this whole thing with the glucose and the blood sugars. It's giving me really bad anxiety. I have the test here. It's just not been an easy process for me. So what happened first was I went to the pharmacy to pick up my prescription. And it came in the bag, like the paper bag, stapled. And I'm like, okay, I guess everything's in here. I leave, I come home, and it's these 2 boxes. Okay? And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I don't have anyone in my family that's diabetic, neither does Mitch. Like, never seen this before. Anyway, so then I'm like looking at it, and one says it's the Lancets, which is like the needles to poke you, and the strips. And when I was Googling it, I saw some monitors are really small, like it looks like a USB stick. So I was like, oh, maybe like everything is in there. And I opened up this one, the needles, and I just saw the needles. And then I'm like, this one I didn't want to open in case like they got the wrong thing. And so anyway, I tried calling the diabetes center for the gestational diabetes, they're closed on the weekend, obviously. And then I called the hospital, and the hospital was actually really helpful. They told me to call the pharmacy. So I did, and when I called them, they were like, oh, we didn't know it's your first time, like, dealing with this. I'm sorry, it's on, like, you have my, like, record, like, gestational diabetes, like, I've never, anyway, whatever. I was just kind of annoyed that they didn't ask me, like, oh, do you have any questions, whatever. Like, they just scanned me and I left, you know? Like, I guess I had everything, but anyway, so they told me to come back, bring what I had, because then they had to refund me, and the machine is actually free. Like, the testing kit's free, if you purchase, like, the test strips and whatever. So, this was a test kit, and I open it, and it has some of those little micro needles in there. It has the little machine that will puncture you. And then it has a little test. So this is what I was looking for. Because I was thinking, like, I can't fit in the boxes. Like, but when I opened this one and it wasn't in here, I'm like, okay, it's not there. Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. So it's Monday, and I'm gonna try doing it today. Look at these instructions. Unboxing. Okay, pull off. Okay. Okay. Turn it a quarter, but don't take it off. It's not that big. See, that's how big it is. It gave me an E1, so I need to do it again and do more. Okay, I did it. I did it on my ring finger. I did it closer to the top, and I found that was better. It doesn't hurt. It feels like less painful than a paper cut. Just did my reading. So it's 5. Okay, so it has to be less than 5.3, it's 5. So Mitch is grabbing breakfast instead of me making, which is nice. He's going to this breakfast place we usually go to. So I get a California Benedict, which is avocado, bacon, and the egg with the hollandaise. I asked for the hollandaise on the side. I have to do poached hard because egg yolk makes my throat itchy. Had breakfast. You're supposed to do exercise after every meal, so I'm taking Hatchie for a walk. So gonna do that. Hello everyone. So it is day 2 of doing this blood sugar testing. So wanted to give an update. So for my first day, I have been significantly under, which is amazing.
Small step into crucial.
Ow. Okay, so made breakfast. I have 2 slices of light rye toast, egg white with some marbled cheese, and avocado and cherry tomatoes with some salt and pepper. So, and water to drink, and my prenatals. So that's my breakfast. Okay, guys. So it's a new day with the glucose testing, and what I did is I actually, because what they gave me is this like little sheet, and it's not editable. Like literally, like look at that. It's so messy. So what I did is I wrote on my own little chart here. I broke it up by date, fasting blood sugar. So this morning it was 4.8. It's supposed to be under 5.3. So far I've been good. You have to write like what you ate with the portion size. And then 2 hours after you eat, you do your blood sugar. Then you kind of like have a snack. It doesn't have to be right after breakfast or anything. You have it like whenever throughout the day. Like not but right before lunch or anything, but you know, like in between. And then you have lunch, same thing, so etc. Because literally the order that they put it in was breakfast, then snack, then blood sugar. And I'm like, I don't want a snack right after breakfast. Like, I don't want that. So anyway, that's been working out great for me. After meals, 2 hours after meals, you have to be under 6.7. The highest I have been is a 6. So, been doing pretty good. In terms of the pricking, it's getting a little bit easier, but I guess I noticed how it works is I kind of forget which fingers I did. So I guess I did this side of my ring finger a multitude amount of times because as you can see, it's a little bit like it looks swollen. I guess because I did the first day and then the second day I did it again, and I noticed it's a little bit sore or whatever. So I'm gonna try not to do that finger. So I'm trying to do different ones so at least it has a little bit longer to heal. Not that it like hurts or anything. It's just, I guess, maybe I might have done the exact same spot or something. Maybe that's why it's like, Okay, so just made some breakfast. So 2 slices of light rye, egg whites with cheese, salt and pepper, and half of avocado and cherry tomatoes with some salt and pepper. So some things I noticed too with the glucose and watching like my carbohydrates. I have had snacks, like I have had cookies. You can have cookies, guys. Like it's not like no more junk food for the rest of the time that you're pregnant. No, you can have it as long as the carbohydrates are under the recommended amount. Did my 2-hour after breakfast glucose test. I walked Hachi like an hour after eating. It was 6.1, which again is significantly under 6.7 number. Okay, so I'm back from the mall. So I got my Jimmy the Greek and I halved it and put it on a plate. And I got sugar-free, 0 sugar iced teas. And then I have the hot sauce and the tzatziki. So half of it should be fine for lunch. Yeah, so I'm gonna eat, and then after, Hachi and I will go for our afternoon stroll right after, and yeah, I need to put the timer on as soon as I have my first bite. But yeah, let's see what happens with this, because yeah, if I can have this, then I'm happy. I think it's just, again, minimizing the starch. So anyway, we'll see. Just measured my blood sugar again, 2 hours after lunch, and my snacks were cookies. And then I had half my Jimmy the Greek serving, and I'm supposed to be under 6.7, and this is my reading. 5.1, and that's like the lowest reading I've had after a 2-hour meal. Hello everyone, so I just got home. I had my first ultrasound today, so a positive with gestational diabetes is you get extra ultrasounds. So I have 3 extra ones. So today was my first one and it went really good. Baby girl is head down facing my back, which is the way you want them to face. And what's awesome is they printed out the picture for me. I got a picture. Finally, I got a printed out photo, but it's only of her foot because she kept moving around and they couldn't get a good profile view. But it's okay. I have 2 more ultrasounds, so hopefully for one of them she'll be good for a photo. Right now I'm gonna have my snack. Hello everyone. So this morning I am going to the endocrinologist and seeing the dietitian at the hospital, so I'll let you know how it goes when I get back. And we're back. Seeing the endocrinologist, it was good. So basically I brought like a chart with all my meals and the blood sugars and that kind of thing. I did tell her like I skipped some meals. She's like, oh, never skip meals, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, it's because I had like a bigger lunch, but I was still under for sugars. And she's like, yeah, no, like you have to eat smaller portions, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, which was kind of like, but my sugar is still under, so like why would I? But she just said to eat smaller, like that's how you should do it. So I'm gonna try that. She's not too worried about me. She said, honestly, maintain your meals, do your exercise. I'm not worried about you. You're not like too over. And when I saw the dietitian, she was actually really nice. She didn't think it would take me too long. She just like was like, do you have any questions? And I asked her for snacks that were like nut-free friendly and like, cause I can't have egg yolks and stuff. So she gave me like oatmeal cookies are the best for me. Like I can have fruit. She's like, I know people say to stay away from fruit, but you can have fruit, just not too much, but you can have it. Low sugar ice cream, fudge bars, that kind of thing. So yeah, all good. Hello everybody. So I just got back from my second appointment with the endocrinologist and dietitian, and I'm 35 weeks today, and good news, I am done with them for the rest of my pregnancy. Yay! Pleasant surprise. So basically what happened was I saw the dietitian first. She looked at my nutrition journal, like my log, I guess, and There were some days where I was over like a little bit, but nothing crazy. She said basically no concerns. Basically the rest of my pregnancy, I have to do the continue testing 4 times a day, but I don't necessarily need to log my food anymore unless I really want to. I can do it. And I saw the endocrinologist. This endocrinologist, it was a different one than the first time I saw, and she was so funny. She was more strict with diet than the other one. The other one was more like relaxed about it, like she wasn't too concerned. Meanwhile, this one was more like, oh, I saw you went over a few times, like from what the dietitian said, do you know why that is, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh yeah, probably because I had too many carbs or I had my snack too close to dinner, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, oh, well, for your carbs, like, make sure you do this one instead of this one. And like, so she was more like concerned about it. She said, I'm only like telling you this because you're young. And if you have another pregnancy, if you're planning to have more children, you'll have to test earlier and you're more likely to get gestational diabetes. If you have it the first time, you're more likely to have it again. So I'm just like letting you know so that way you get like a good habit into certain things and stuff. In my head, I'm like, I still want my white rice though, like. She basically said, yeah, you don't need to come back anymore. You're good till the rest of your pregnancy. She did tell me though, this is something like I never heard of. So, you know, you see TikToks of people like giving birth and then they're having like their coffee or their sweets or whatever after they give birth. No, I cannot do that. She told me like, I know it's gonna be tempting. You're gonna want like Tim Hortons and like muffin and like all these sweet drinks and stuff. She's like, try not to do that because we're gonna test you before you leave the hospital. Yeah, no, like it wasn't as bad as I thought. The only part I hated was waiting in the waiting room because you book an appointment for like, my appointment was at 9 and it's almost 11. I'm like, and I have to pay for parking on top of it because it's at the hospital. There's nowhere free to park at the hospital. So now just the next steps, I still have to maintain, check every 4 times a day. So I have my little log thing here that I've been doing. Oh, okay. One thing I wanted to mention when I saw the endocrinologist, I told her, I was very proud about this. I'm like, oh, I made spaghetti squash pasta and with cheese and like veggies and chicken. Like I was so proud of myself. I was like, yeah, so I got rid of pasta. Like I kind of got rid of the carbs. And then she's like, oh no, but there is no carbs in it. You need to have carbs. I forgot to mention, but I had garlic bread too. So there's bread there. But I'm just like, it kind of like was crazy because they're like, yeah, we won't see you because you're going to give birth soon. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to give birth soon. Like it's insane. Like when they said that, I was just like, oh my goodness. I had my ultrasound on Monday. I don't know if I documented it, but look at her. Look at her. Look at that nose and lips.
And that concludes the glucose maintenance vlog video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I didn't take too many videos of me pricking myself because that's kind of boring to show, but I did it 4 times a day up until the 35 weeks when they told me they didn't need to see me anymore. So I only did it for like a month, which wasn't too bad, but yeah, it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. So if you're afraid of needles like me, you'll be fine. But yeah, and luckily I only had to manage it with diet. I didn't have to do insulin or anything like that, so that was another thing too. But yeah, if there are any questions you guys have, please comment them down below and I can answer them as best as I can. But with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like video as well as hit that subscribe button down below as I post every single Friday. Thanks for watching and see you next week. Bye!